Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're thinking about moving to Montana, or maybe you just bought your slice of Big Sky Country Paradise, first of all, congrats. You're going to love it here. We've got majestic mountains, endless skies, fresh air, and, surprise, no city sewer. Yep, if you've lived in a city your whole life, this is your friendly heads up that Montana runs on septic tanks. And if that phrase gives you a little pause or a slight look of confusion, you're not alone. So today, I'm breaking down what septic systems are, how they work, why they matter, and some real-life tips and gotchas that you'll want to know before you install one, live with one, or, let's be honest, panic when something smells a little funky. Let's dive in. If you're not hooked up to a city sewer line, and odds are you're not, then everything that goes down your drains is heading out into your yard. But not in a gross way, it's heading to a septic tank. A septic system is basically your personal underground wastewater treatment plant. Here's how it works. 1. Wastewater from your sinks, toilets, shower, dishwasher, etc. all flows out of your home into a buried septic tank. 2. The tank is usually made of concrete or plastic and holds the wastewater long enough to let the solids settle to the bottom. That's called sludge. While oils and grease float to the top, that's the scum. The relatively clear liquid in the middle, called effluent, flows out into a drain field, which is a buried system of perforated pipes surrounded by gravel and soil. 4. The soil filters and naturally treats the effluent before it eventually percolates into the groundwater. So in short, your yard is doing the dirty work. So you might be wondering, why septic? Why not just connect to the city? Well, because in most parts of Montana, there is no city, or at least not enough infrastructure to offer centralized sewer. Even in places like Bozeman or Big Sky, neighborhoods on the outskirts or in the hills aren't within reach of a sewer grid. And if you're going more rural, it's septic or nothing. Honestly, that's part of the charm. You're self-sufficient. You control your system. No sewer bills, no monthly fees. Just you, your land, and a buried tank full of... You get the idea. Now, if you're building on raw land or your property needs a new septic system, here's where it gets interesting. You can't just go out with a backhoe, dig a pit, drop in a tank, and call it good. Montana has strict rules about where, how, and what kind of system can be installed. Let me walk you through it. First, you'll need a perk test, or percolation test. This checks how quickly water drains through your soil. Why? Because your soil is going to filter that effluent, and if it drains too fast, it might contaminate groundwater. Too slow, and it might back up into your house. Gross. Next, a site evaluation determines the best spot for the tank and drain field, far from your neighbor's wells, any water sources, and preferably not on a slope where runoff becomes an issue. Then comes the design and permitting process. A licensed engineer or sanitarian has to draw up a septic system plan that meets county and DEQ, Department of Environmental Quality regulations. Oh, and you can't just hire anyone to install it. It needs to be a certified installer. You'll want someone who knows Montana's regulations like the back of their hand, because trust me, you do not want to redo a failed system. One guy I know, he built his dream cabin outside Ennis, forgot to factor in snow load, ended up burying his tank too shallow, and it froze solid in February. Outhouse-style living for 3 weeks. Learn from his pain. You might want to sit down for this part. A septic system in Montana can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000, depending on the size of the house, soil conditions, and type of system needed. Here's a quick breakdown. Yeast basic gravity system, good soil, no pumps. Around N10K, 15K. Pressure distribution or mound systems, more complex, 15K, 25K plus. Holding tanks, used in rare cases with poor soil, varies and can require regular pumping. Oh, and if you're building in a rocky area, like parts of Paradise Valley, excavation costs can skyrocket. I once watched a crew in Big Sky hit bedrock 2 feet down. That tank installation turned into a mini quarry project. Let's go over the common types you'll run into in Montana. 1. Conventional gravity systems. These are the simplest. Wastewater flows downhill from the house to the tank to the drain field. Low maintenance, low cost, but only work if your soil perks well and the slope is right. 2. Pressure distribution systems. These use a pump to distribute wastewater evenly across the drain field. Needed for flatter lots or areas with less permeable soil. 3. Mound systems. If your soil is really shallow or there's a high water table, they build a raised bed of sand and gravel to filter the effluent. These are expensive and not the prettiest, but sometimes it's your only option. 4. Alternative advanced treatment units. Think of these like mini water treatment plants. They're high-tech, expensive, and often required in sensitive areas or for multi-home properties. Each has its place, but the key is matching the system to your land and local rules. Here's where a lot of new Montana homeowners get in trouble. Just because your septic system is underground doesn't mean it's out of sight, out of mind. Regular maintenance is key. Rule of thumb? You should pump your septic tank every 3 to 5 years, depending on your household size and usage. If you've got a family of 5 and love long showers, garbage disposals, and laundry marathons, every 2-3 years is safer. If it's a second home or you're super conservative with water, you can stretch it longer. Also, don't flush wipes. I don't care what the label says. Flushable wipes will clog your baffles and back up your system faster than you can say, "What's that smell?" Avoid harsh chemicals, skip the garbage disposal when you can, and never, ever park a car or build a patio over your drain field. Keep an eye and a nose out for these red flags. Gurgling pipes or slow drains, sewage smells in your yard or basement, wet spots or standing water over your drain field, lush green grass in just one spot. Trust me, it's not a good sign. One couple I worked with noticed their dogs kept rolling around in a certain part of the yard. Turns out their drain field was surfacing. Not only gross, but costly. They had to replace the entire system. Let's knock out a few myths while we're here. Myth: you can just pour yeast or store-bought additives to avoid pumping. Nope. Most additives do nothing, and some can actually harm your tank. The only way to remove solids is pumping. Myth: septic tanks last forever. Not true. Most tanks last 25-40 years, depending on material usage and maintenance. Myth: if it's working, you don't need to check it. Kind of like never going to the dentist because your teeth feel fine. Not the best idea. In some subdivisions, especially newer ones near Bozeman, Belgrade, or Missoula, you'll find shared or community septic systems. This means multiple homes connect to a central tank or treatment area. The benefit? More efficient use of land and professional management. The downside? You're sharing responsibility and sometimes costs. Make sure to read the HOA documents carefully. Some require monthly fees, others require homeowners to contribute to a sinking fund for future repairs. Also, be a good neighbor. What you flush affects everyone else connected to the system. I know this sounds like a lot, but let me tell you, having your own septic system can actually be kind of liberating. You're not tied into a city utility, you're self-sufficient. And if properly maintained, your system will run quietly in the background for decades. Plus, in Montana, it's normal. People talk septic tanks like city folks talk about parking meters. You'll get used to it. So if you're moving to Montana and septic systems are brand new territory, don't stress. Yes, it's a little different. Yes, it requires a bit of planning and some regular maintenance, but you've got this. Ask your trusted realtor, like me, the right questions, work with good local contractors, and don't wait until something stinks to learn how your system works. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit that like and subscribe button and tap that notification bell for more Montana Home Insights. And drop a comment if you've got questions or if you've got your own septic horror story to share. Thanks for stopping by the channel. We strive to bring you actionable, useful information that will help answer any question you may have or help you to get a great idea of all that Montana has to offer. Montana is our home, and whether you're interested in purchasing or selling a home, land, or exploring your options with investments, we offer tailored guidance and insider access to the finest properties. Reach out today and let's find your dream property together.